Now, what he's trying to argue is that markets can only work as long as there is no coercion. Now, of course, property rights are coercive. You put in place a property right, you are violently stopping people from accessing certain resources. Contracts are also enforced violently, as are the countless other legislative and social norms that libertarians often ignore when they talk about markets, and economists often do as well, to be honest. So, employment law, whatever, contract law, limited liability laws, corporate law, blah, blah, blah. So those are all violent. But that aside, what to define a monopoly as a situation where nobody can possibly enter the market by legal fiat is like to create the most ridiculous standard and straw man of what a monopoly is. Obviously, consider the idea of local monopolies, right? If you are somebody on a beach on a really hot day and there is one vendor on the beach and you need some water, they can charge you a really high price because there's nobody around and you need it right now. Is that vendor the only water vendor in the market? Well, for you at that, yes. But obviously in a broader holistic sense, no. And yes, you could start a water company given sufficient time and resources and a bit of luck, but that's completely irrelevant. At that moment, the vendor is exerting monopoly power over you. And if you look at something like Amazon, quite clearly, we literally just had that news that Amazon was lying about its prices for everybody, right? And it's been ripping off consumers. And that's before you even get to its effect on workers and smaller suppliers, how it restricts competition by gobbling it up, basically, and how it maintains its monopoly position. Clearly, there are situations where people can exert power. Sometimes those situations are highly local and time limited. Sometimes those situations are much broader and extend over tens of years and entire countries or even the entire world, as with Amazon, right? But those do exist. That is the definition of monopoly power. This ridiculous definition that sort of conflates the libertarian idea of bad